Your personality may be built around making other people comfortable, and you probably think that makes you kind, mature, easy to love, but sometimes it means you were never allowed to become a real person. Some people don't have personalities. They have survival strategies. They become whatever version of themselves gets the least rejection. Around friends, they become funnier. Around family, they become smaller. In relationships, they become easier. At work, they become more impressive. Online, they become more desirable. And they get so good at shape-shifting. They eventually lose track of who they actually are, not because they're fake, because adaptation once kept them safe. And that's the uncomfortable truth. You may not be addicted to approval. You may be addicted to the feeling of safety approval temporarily gives you. Because for many people, rejection doesn't feel uncomfortable, it feels dangerous. And that usually begins in childhood. A child learns who they are through reflection. Psychologists call this mirroring. A child unconsciously asks, "Am I lovable? Am I safe? Do I matter?" And the reactions they receive become their identity. When children are accepted consistently, they build internal stability, but when love feels conditional, everything changes. Maybe you were praised when you achieved something, when you stayed quiet, when you made people proud, when you caused no problems. But when you expressed anger, needs, boundaries, sadness, or individuality, you may have been punished, criticized, ignored, or made to feel difficult. And your nervous system learned a brutal rule. Who I am is less important than how well I'm received. And that belief quietly destroys people. Because once approval becomes survival, authenticity starts feeling dangerous. You stop asking, "Who am I?" and start asking, "Who do people need me to be?" And that question can control your entire life. It controls your career. You choose respectable over meaningful. It controls your relationships. You tolerate disrespect because being abandoned feels worse. It controls your friendships. You laugh at things that hurt you. You stay quiet when people cross boundaries. It controls your identity. You become highly edited, highly polished, highly acceptable, and deeply exhausted because performing is exhausting, especially when you never get to stop. And criticism becomes unbearable, not because criticism is always devastating, but because it confirms your deepest fear. If people see the real me, they might leave. That's why one awkward interaction can haunt you for weeks. Why one negative comment can ruin your day. Why one person disliking you can feel emotionally catastrophic. Because your nervous system often reacts to present rejection with old fear. And modern life made this far worse. For most of human history, you were judged by a small tribe. Now your nervous system can feel evaluated by thousands of strangers instantly. Views, likes, followers, comments, public approval became a scoreboard. And people started confusing attention with worth, visibility with value, and applause with love. They are not the same thing. And here's where this becomes tragic. Some people spend their entire lives becoming impressive, beautiful, successful, funny, agreeable, desired, exceptional, only to wake up one day and realize they built a version of themselves designed to be admired but never deeply known. And the loneliest part, sometimes everyone loves the version of you that is slowly killing you. The version that never says no. The version that never disappoints anyone. The version that never creates conflict. The version that always performs. That version gets rewarded constantly. But rewards can become cages. Applause can become prison bars. And external validation becomes one of the most socially accepted addictions in the world. Because everyone praises the performer while nobody notices the person disappearing underneath. Real confidence is not becoming someone nobody rejects. That person does not exist. Real confidence is being seen clearly and surviving disapproval without abandoning yourself. It's saying no, being misunderstood, disappointing people, outgrowing relationships built on your compliance. And realizing rejection often reveals who was benefiting from your self-abandonment. And one day you may have to confront a terrifying question. If I stop performing, who stays? Who actually loves me when I become inconvenient? When I have boundaries? When I stop shape-shifting? When I become real? Because the saddest life imaginable is becoming everything people wanted and realizing nobody ever met you, not even yourself.